On a quiet spring night in Portugal, a 3-year-old girl vanished from her bed while her parents dined just steps away. The disappearance of Madeleine McCann became the most famous missing child case in modern history. A case filled with contradictions, suspicious behavior, and theories darker than anyone dared to imagine. But behind the headlines, behind the global manhunt and millions of dollars spent, was the world told the whole truth? Or is there a cover-up that runs far, deeper than we've been led to believe? Madeleine Beth McCann was just days away from her 4th birthday. Blonde hair, bright smile, a little girl who loved swimming and playing dress-up. To her parents, Kate and Jerry, she was their world. The McCanns were respected professionals. Jerry, a cardiologist. Kate, a general practitioner. They were the perfect family from England, taking a week-long holiday in Praia da Luz, a sunny tourist village on Portugal's southern coast. They stayed at a resort called Ocean Club. Safe, quiet, family-friendly, a place where nothing bad was supposed to happen. On the evening of May 3rd, Kate and Jerry put their 3 children, Madeleine and her younger twin siblings, to bed in their apartment at 8:30 p.m. Then, along with a group of friends, they went to the resort's tapas restaurant, about 100 yards away. They told each other it was safe. They would check on the kids every half hour, but at 10 p.m., Kate walked back to the apartment. She opened the bedroom door, and Madeleine's bed was empty. The window was open, the shutters raised. Kate screamed, "They've taken her!" and the nightmare began. The next hours were chaos. Resort staff, guests, and eventually police searched the surrounding streets. Neighbors reported seeing nothing unusual. But one sighting would stand out forever. A man carrying a child in pajamas, walking away from the apartment that night. Portuguese police arrived, but their response was criticized from the start. The crime scene wasn't sealed off properly. The apartment was contaminated by dozens of people walking through. Madeleine's trail was already vanishing. At first, investigators believed Madeleine had been abducted by a stranger. Praia da Luz was a tourist town, often visited by criminals and traffickers. The idea of a pedophile ring quickly took hold, but then suspicion began to turn in another direction, toward the McCanns themselves. Police questioned why there were no signs of forced entry, why the children were left alone night after night, why Kate's first words were, "They've taken her," before anyone knew for sure. British cadaver dogs brought in later alerted to the scent of blood and human remains in the McCann's apartment, and even inside a rental car the couple hired weeks after Madeleine's disappearance. To Portuguese police, it seemed like a chilling possibility. Could Madeleine have died in that apartment and her parents covered it up? While police investigated, the media exploded. Within days, Madeleine's face was everywhere. Newspapers, television, posters across Europe. Celebrities donated money. The Pope met the McCanns. The case was no longer just local, it was global. Millions of pounds poured into the Find Madeleine Fund. Private detectives were hired. Campaigns were launched. The story became less about Madeleine and more about the McCanns themselves. Meanwhile, online forums and amateur sleuths dissected every move, every interview, every facial expression. And suspicion only grew. By September 2007, just 4 months after Madeleine disappeared, Portuguese police declared Kate and Jerry arguidos, the official suspects. Investigators believed Madeleine had died accidentally in the apartment, and the McCanns had staged an abduction. But without a body, without hard proof, the case collapsed. By July 2008, Portuguese authorities cleared the McCanns, declaring the case closed, but to the public, doubts remained. For years, theories have haunted the case. Stranger abduction, a predator spotted an opportunity. Witnesses reported men hanging around the resort in the days before. Burglary gone wrong. Thieves entered, panicked, and took Madeleine. Parents. Involvement, cadaver dogs, contradictions in their statements, and unusual behavior left lingering suspicion. High-level cover-up. Some believe powerful figures protected the McCanns, that money and influence turned the case into a media shield. Rather than a criminal investigation, each theory has holes, each leaves questions unanswered. In 2020, police announced a new prime suspect, a German drifter named Christian Bruckner, a convicted sex offender who lived near Praia da Luz in 2007. He had a history of violence against women and children. Authorities claimed phone records, placed him in the area that night. They believe he killed Madeleine, but years later there is still no evidence, no body, no proof. Over 15 years, more than $20 million has been spent on the case. Countless documentaries produced. The McCanns remain figures of sympathy and controversy. Why did this case receive so much funding when thousands of other missing children are forgotten? Why were the McCanns given such a platform, while police files suggest inconsistencies in their own accounts? The Madeleine case became more than a disappearance. It became a global brand. Today, Madeleine McCann would be 21 years old. Her room at home still waits for her. Her parents still hold on to hope. But the truth of what happened that night in 2007 remains hidden. Was Madeleine abducted by a predator? Did she die in that apartment? Or is the real story something the world will never be allowed to know? One thing is certain. The mystery of Madeleine McCann is no longer just a case. It's a mirror reflecting the darkest corners of media, power, and human behavior. And until the truth is revealed, the world will keep asking, where is Madeleine?